Got a crazy story. Some of this broke yesterday, but there's a lot more to it, actually, that's going on, that's come out just now recently. So Twitter got hacked really, really badly. A lot of really big accounts got compromised. Notably, Joe Biden and Barack Obama, which I think is a pretty big deal, actually. A former president of the United States' Twitter account got compromised. That's a really big deal. This is crazy stuff. So Twitter was scrambling to fix this, okay? Because look what they're doing. So I'm giving back to my community. All Bitcoin sent to my address below will be sent back doubled. If you send 1,000, I will send back 2,000. And then there's a Bitcoin address right there. So essentially, these people took over a lot of blue checkmark accounts, big ones, by the way, really big accounts. And we're trying to get people to send money. And then they said they were going to double your money or whatever. It ended up working very well. They made at least $118,000. I'm not sure if they made any more or less, but that's still a lot of money. They made a lot of money doing this. Okay? But that's not really where the story ends. Because the hackers that compromised all of these accounts revealed a lot of information that says a lot about what's going on inside of Twitter. And in a lot of ways, probably other social media companies as well. We have confirmation that blacklists sure do exist, and there's even a trend blacklist. I've seen this a lot of times on Twitter. I can think of two really good examples. There'll be times where men are trash will trend. And then, like, notably, I think like a couple of weeks ago, women are trash actually trended. That got snuffed out real quick. That's a good example of a trend blacklist. So they blacklisted that real quick, goes away, no longer trends. Now, what's funny about this is old Jack here, who runs Twitter, he said shadow bans do not exist at his company. Gave this statement to Congress, lied to Congress. He lied to them. I wonder if he's going to be in any trouble. Let's go ahead and read his statement. We believe strongly in being impartial, and we strive to enforce our rules impartially, Twitter founder and Chief Executive Officer Jack Dorsey said in written testimony released prior to his appearance before the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Its members are certain to question him again over accusations that the platform suppressed posts from House Freedom Caucus Chairman Mike Meadows and other Republicans. Let me be clear about one important and foundational fact. Twitter does not use political ideology to make decisions, whether related to ranking content on our service or how we enforce our rules, he said in his prepared statement. Well, that's false, because we have pictures right here. This says admin tool, or at least something related to it, that was posted. And by the way, if you post this on Twitter, they will delete your post and probably suspend you. We're going to get to that. You can see right there, bounced, inactive, protected, compromised, trends blacklist, search blacklist, read only, perm suspended, bounce, protected. It's interesting, isn't it? So, yeah, this is a very, very interesting story. Let's go ahead and go over this. Hackers convinced Twitter employee to help them hijack accounts after a wave of account takeovers. Screenshots of an internal Twitter user administration tool are being shared in the hacking underground. They make it sound so like an underground. People hanging out in some like crazy abandoned warehouse or something. Okay, so a Twitter insider was responsible for a wave of high-profile account takeovers on Wednesday, according to a leaked screenshot obtained by Motherboard and two sources who took over accounts. On Wednesday, a spike of high-profile accounts, including those of Joe Biden, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Uber, and Apple, tweeted cryptocurrency scams and an apparent hack. We used a rep that literally done all the work for us, one of the sources told Motherboard. The second source added they paid the Twitter insider. Motherboard granted the sources anonymity to speak candidly about a security incident. A Twitter spokesperson told Mother that the company is still investigating whether the employee hijacked the accounts themselves or gave hackers the access to the tool. A lot of stuff here. I wonder if the president was compromised. That's interesting. That's a big problem. A lot of questions here. Particularly, in my opinion, concerning former President Barack Obama and Democratic frontrunner Joe Biden. Are we talking about maybe possibly a national security risk at this point? This is really crazy stuff right now. And Twitter is in a lot of trouble, particularly their CEO, Jack Dorsey, who's probably in some hot water. And I got to tell you, Trump was pushing for invoking, at least changing Rule 204 for social media. That's probably got a very strong case now. And I think now you might actually see some push for some changes on that. So the accounts were taken over using an internal tool, according to the sources. And apparently they've changed the email address associated with many of these accounts that would make it harder to obtain them back. In all four sources close to our inside the underground hacking community provided Motherboard with screenshots of the user tool. Two sources said the Twitter panel was also used to change ownership of some so-called OG accounts that have a handle consisting of only one or two characters, as well as facilitating the tweeting of the cryptocurrency scams from the high-profile accounts. Twitter has been deleting some screenshots of the panel and has suspended users who have tweeted them, claiming that the tweets violate its rules. And this is the picture right here. If you tweet that out, they're going to ban you. It's kind of similar to the hashtag learn to code thing that happened before. Remember that? If you just tweeted that hashtag, they would suspend or ban you. That's pretty much what they're doing right here. They're just getting rid of you. They're trying to contain this. I don't know why. It's pretty much already out there. It's not going anywhere now. And I got to say, this is some good reporting by Vice. I got to give them credit when it's due. And this is a really good article. It's crazy because usually they write articles about, how to stop your doo-doo from smelling and stuff. They've fallen, but once in a while, I guess they can get back up. So the panel is a stark example of the issue of insider data access at tech companies, whereas in other cases, hackers have bribed workers to leverage tools over individual users. In this case, the access had led to takeovers of some of the biggest accounts on the social media platform and tweeted Bitcoin-related scams in an effort to generate income. The screenshots shows details of the target user's account, such as whether it has been suspended, is permanently suspended, or has protected status. One of the screenshots is a Twitter user posting images of the panel themselves at the time of writing that account has been suspended. It's pretty interesting. So if you're an admin, these are things that you'll see. That's crazy. Blacklisted. There it is. And plain as day, you can see it right there. But Jack, you said you don't do that to Congress. You said you don't ban people. You don't shadow ban people. That's a bunch of malarkey. That's not real. Well, it turns out it is. Boy, I wonder, will Jack get in trouble for perjury? Only time will tell. I'm going to be honest, probably nothing is going to happen to him. I bet you not a thing happens to him. But it should. He should probably get in trouble for lying to Congress, but, probably won't happen. And, it's surprising. You see all these tech companies do this stuff all the time, and nothing ever happens. It's all good. I don't know how often they're going to be allowed to mess up like this. One senator is at least reaching out, sent this letter to old Jack saying, What did you lose? As I write, Twitter seems to be experiencing a large-scale attack as illustrated by a number of posts inviting users to transfer Bitcoin under fraudulent pretenses. These accounts include former President Barack Obama and even the Democratic nominee for president. The list of affected accounts is growing by the minute. Some affected users are alleged to have been protected by Twitter's two-factor authentication. I am concerned that this event may represent not merely a coordinated set of separate hacking incidents, but rather a successful attack on the security of Twitter itself. As you know, millions of your users rely on your service not just to tweet publicly, but to communicate privately through your direct message service. That's a big one, actually. Imagine DMs, because you know, whoever it was that took these accounts over, if they took over Obama's account, Biden's account, the CEO of Twitter, Mr. Jack Dorsey, actually was hacked as well. His DMs. You also have Elon Musk's DMs. If they have any DMs, they're going to come out. They're going to get dropped. This is wild stuff. Imagine if it's somebody high up in the government or something, and there's some stuff in there they shouldn't have been talking about, and that drops. This is big stuff. Crazy stuff, man. So anyway, a successful attack on your system's servers represents a threat to all of your users' privacy and data security. Please reach out immediately to the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation and take any necessary measures to secure the site before this breach expands. Once you have attended to immediate concerns, please respond to the following questions. Did this event represent a breach of users' own account security or of Twitter's systems? I would say yes. Were accounts protected by two-factor authentication successfully targeted in this breach? If so, how is this possible? I would say yeah, they for sure were. Did this breach compromise the account security of users whose accounts were not used to such fraudulent posts? If so, how many accounts were affected? Were all accounts security compromised by this breach? How many users may have faced data theft as a consequence of this breach? What measures does Twitter undertake to prevent system-level hacks from breaching the security of its entire user base? Did this attack threaten the security of the president's own Twitter account? I don't think he actually got hit. I don't think he got hit. So, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I wonder what's going to happen. I do know one thing. I guarantee you're going to see DM leaks from a lot of high-profile people because there were a lot of blue check mark accounts that got compromised. I think you're going to see a lot of DM leaks, and it's going to be crazy. I will keep you posted as things develop with this story. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Jack's in trouble? Do you think Twitter's in trouble? What are your thoughts on this? Also, if you would, throw a like up, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out.